Recording. We're recording and yes. Yes. I am very confident. Wait, one thing that's making me nervous is I don't see little lines right there. Let's see.
It says we offline. So.
Oh, it does?
Oh, now everybody's freezing up on Google again.
Says we offline. Are we?
No,
we're live. We're live. Okay.
Now we're live. Yep.
We'll do it
I see
live.
it.
All right.
So Bekah, for the hurricane, you left your left your place and you brought your cat to Steve and Brad's and then locked it in the bathroom and then you guys went to Kegel's. Is that what happened?
No,
No.
you're
That's
almost
close.
right.
You're about 75% right on that.
Partial credit.
No,
Dude.
she could have come with us to Kegel's, but we did not.
Bowie.
go.
Bowie
Yeah.
could have.
We didn't go.
Yeah, not Bekah.
So you just left the cat in the bathroom anyway.
Well, I was staying
You
over
wanna
at
put it
their
so
place,
coldly.
and they're not pet people. They don't have pets, and so
Yeah.
bringing my fur ball into their environment for
Furball.
however many
yes.
days,
Furball.
however many
indeed.
fucking days, it could have been a week, And so the rule was very early on: she's not getting anywhere near the furniture, and so we just
And we
decided.
didn't want cat hair everywhere.
Well, and I had her in this little cage, those little cat carriers, but she kept like kicking and rolling herself over and over on the floor.
It was
So I
pretty
said
funny.
It was, but I said we got to do something. She's miserable in there.
So the rule was if you want to poop, this cat has to watch you do it.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
that's right.
She'll do it.
Where did the cat poop during this time?
in her litter box.
Outside.
Oh, you brought the litter
No.
box? Okay.
Of course, I was so prepared. You have no idea how prepared I was. I was so prepared. I had to go back to my house
Like
once
3
after
times.
sealing
Oh.
it off to get things that I didn't get.
You
the
didn't
first
even
time.
have a bug out bag, did you?
I had.
Bekah was the least contemplative in terms of possibly leaving. like me and Brad, we kind of went back and forth. I think Brad leaned more towards Kegel's. I leaned more towards staying, but I was still willing to watch the data and make a reasonable decision and not put myself in danger. But Bekah, no, not at all.
Zero fucks given.
Yeah, what it was. I guess it would have been Monday morning. I'd left the apartment early and was going out. I was shooting some time lapse of the storm coming in, and it was still nice out, but the waves were getting up and stuff. And Bekah called me asking where I was, and I said, I'm just up here if you want to come. And so I'm talking about what I'm seeing, what the forecast is saying, the spaghetti models, all that kind of stuff, and then like throwing out the possibility of if we go to Kegel's and stuff. She's like, "What? We are not going to Kegel's." and
Nothing against you, Kegel.
Yeah, Kegel. Don't take that the wrong way. It's just she wanted to ride
He's
it.
smelly and he's weird. His name's Kegel. We're not going over there. That's exactly what she said.
It was pretty close. It's odd that you got that close.
Word for word.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. But yeah, it's the morbid curiosity. You want to see it. I totally understood. And now in hindsight, and I'm glad that this is the case, but comparing our experience to Kegel's experience, we definitely got more of a hurricane experience. Kegel's got one of those weather vanes that you can tap into with your phone and everything. And the fastest wind speed he recorded, I think, was like 27, 29 miles per hour, something like that. But those
You're talking
were
about it.
gusts.
You're talking about it like it's a festival. Like
Well-
we got more. Luckily, we got more of the hurricane experience than Kegel did.
We had fun.
Yeah, we wanted that experience, but but not too much.
Bahamas got the full-on
They got the full on.
Yeah.
Splash Mountain
Yeah.
Boom.
Without
Splat in
the
your house.
without the weight. Yeah.
Yeah, it should be said that anything we say that makes it sound like hurricanes are fun, it is not to be insensitive to the poor people in the Bahamas.
Well, listen,
our hearts go out to them, but we are still allowed to experience
It's like
our
that-
life. You know,
that should be. It should just be understood that we're not happy about the fact
Yeah.
that
No,
75%
Bahamas got screwed up.
of the
Right.
Bahamas is
Very sad.
underwater.
mm-hmm.
It's like one of it's well, but the thing is nowadays
You
people
have to give that. You have to say
people
that.
act crazy. You make a joke about what the fuck ever. And
Hurricane
suddenly
Dorian.
Yeah,
Right.
you're suddenly you know hate whoever
Yeah.
you hate people on the islands.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just sat there and
Oh,
pureed the
man.
Bahamas.
Yeah,
man.
dude, it
I
was-
mean,
it
that's
was
pretty
crazy.
much what it did.
It was. I guess it was. Sunday night was when it was starting to get to the Bahamas. You know, we were watching, of course, nonstop Weather Channel, and when we woke up, we figured it was
What?
gonna. I figured, it would have moved on.
What the fuck are we doing right now?
What are we
I don't
doing?
What are you talking about? We're giving the news.
You don't know what this is?
Classic Weather Channel jams.
Is that what that is?
Yeah.
All right.
This is what we
I
did
didn't
for-
really get news when I hear that.
Well, it was back when the Weather Channel was just the radar and the music.
That's right. It's on the 8s.
Oh,
it's
Yeah.
the music
I
that you hear
remember
on
that.
the 8s.
The good
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, Brad found this website that just has archived Weather Channel bumper music.
From 1983 all the way to the great year 2007.
Yeah.
That's royalty-free shit, baby.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, it was
Guess we
nuts
found our new
to,
theme song.
to
Yeah, that's
wake up Monday morning and it had literally not moved. It was sitting right there for hours and hours, man.
Yeah, it was moving at like 1.5 miles an hour.
And
Yeah,
there
I
were
saw
times that
that.
it kind of like backtracked for a second, and then it would move forward. It kind of went north for a second, and then went south, and then went west. It just kept grinding there. It was crazy. But
Yes,
but Monday
puree.
morning we could see the clouds from it, and that's why I went out and I got some time lapse footage of it. But it was still sunny out. It was hot, and muggy, and
But we had the super choppy waves.
we did have those super
Oh, yeah.
choppy waves.
Brad, you take that surfboard out behind you and
Oh man,
do a little
It was-
Patrick Swayze,
that
get
got
out
me
there.
killed.
Oh.
Even the surfers yesterday were like, nah.
Yeah.
It was rough. It was scary.
Apparently this morning the waves were good, but I didn't go out there before work. I went up to the port instead because I
Are
wanted.
you just gonna play that the rest of the?
You got plenty more if you don't like that one.
Yeah,
Another one's-
yeah,
they're all
just
gold.
you just pick a year.
I mean, that was a jamming piano solo.
What year? What year do you want?
Oh my God, that's so amazing.
80
They're
wait.
all there.
Brad, what was the year I picked last night? Because it was perfect. Was it like
Oh,
2000?
it's 2001. Yeah, that's off the
2001.
2001 list.
Okay, how about we'll play "Shaken Not Stirred" by Brian Hughes.
Currently in your area, 36 degrees under partly cloudy skies.
We didn't say these were the cleanest cuts.
Ooh.
Oh, here
These are
we
the
go.
authentic. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, this is a lot
yeah.
better. A little bit smoother.
Makes you feel like you should really go out and buy some canned goods and get ready for the storm.
Yeah.
We did. We stayed true to that though. We bought some cans of ravioli that we were gonna eat when the power went out, and we were waiting for like a day and a half with power, no storms, and we were just like, we want to eat ravioli. I wish the power would just go ahead and go out, but we held our
The
ground. We
forecast
did not
for
eat
your
that
area.
ravioli until the power went out,
And then we ate way too much ravioli.
and we regretted it so
You
much.
guys bought the giant cans of ravioli where I'm like, damn, that's a lot of ravioli.
And,
I would have gone cooler with ice and then packed it with like lunch meats and cheese and
Yeah.
Real
sandwich. Made some sandwiches.
something that seems a little more, less, a little less, I guess, processed. I don't know.
Get some
It's still
Doritos.
processed,
No, I just don't want to
Something-
eat
something
canned. I
made.
just don't want to eat ravioli.
Just get
Yeah.
some
Yeah.
public soda.
I would do the same thing. It would all be iced down lunch meats and yeah.
but- Well, unfortunately, while
Maybe
the,
some K rations.
the power did go out for us,
Look for fair
it
skies
didn't like
on
go out for
Tuesday.
the entire town, so we never got to get like the perfect dark skies, But we did go out to the beach. I guess that was last night. We went out both nights, actually. The first night, we were able to walk down to the beach, like a normal distance down, where the water comes up, which, it's not like being at the beach normally. Usually there's a pretty defined line of like the farthest that the water will come. Obviously it fluctuates, but there's a certain distance you can see the line. Like, okay, if we stand here, we're not going to have to worry about getting wet. But I guess during a hurricane, maybe it's part of storm surge, but
you'll just King's Tide too, wasn't it?
Yeah, new moon with high tide is King's Tide. But yeah, you're just standing there, and every once in a while, it would be upon you. It would just, this massive wave would just come, and if you're out a little too far, it could knock you down.
Last night we were standing by the trash cans, which is almost like 5 feet from the crossover, and normally you'd have to walk about 50 to 70 feet down to the beach. But last night the water was maybe 20 feet away from us, and there was a couple times where it would just come and go all the way to the crossover and get all your feet soaking wet.
But it is really cool because it's so choppy and churny, it's really foamy. So whenever that big wave comes up and hits you, it's like whipped cream hitting your feet.
It's a Dorian latte.
Yeah. Yes. It's like the foam on top of a latte that's engulfing your feet.
Oh my God, a Dorian latte.
Dorian latte. Yeah.
I'm a hurricane.
That should be the name of our show. I'm just saying, Dorian latte.
I want to do. Yeah, we should do like care packages to the Bahamas. We'll put bottled water and ravioli, and then just a clip of this part of the podcast where we're talking about a Dorian latte.
Yeah.
Put it on a little thumb drive.
That won't seem insensitive at all.
No. Well, and then
it'll lift their spirits. It'll make them happy.
Yeah.
They'll laugh.
Yeah, we'll include the part where we said that we're not trying to be insensitive.
Yeah.
And then they'll be like,
yeah.
oh, okay.
Everything's fine then.
Yeah.
They don't mean it. And they brought us water and lattes.
Yeah. Well, speaking of not trying to be insensitive, so for the couple of days leading up to the storm hitting, my mom was in contact with me, and she never asked the specific questions, so that I never had to tell her that I wasn't planning on leaving. She would say, "Do you have a plan?" And I'd say, "Yes, I do," and I would be able to kind of skirt my way around it. But I guess it was Monday, she texted me, which was the day it was originally supposed to hit, and she said, "Where are you?" So that's like solid. I have to answer that, and I'm not going to lie to her. So earlier we had gone out to the beach, and Steve-O was taking pictures, and got a picture of me standing out in the waves, and I got hit by one. And when my mom texted me, "Where are you?" I sent her that picture.
Yeah, and here, I'll show you all the picture.
And she got so mad.
Now show him the other one.
No, don't.
Oh, that's what full screen does? Okay.
Yeah, that's it. That's all we get.
Click,
Wait, how do I...
click that arrow there.
Click that arrow.
No, there's nothing else there. You're just
all right. Get that out of
Hey,
here.
there's my mom's.
My twin mother.
Oh. Oh, man.
Classics. I did get a really funny Snapchat where we realized that the guy reporting live from the beach on the Weather Channel, he didn't realize he didn't have a mic in his hand, so he's just standing like this the whole time.
Yeah.
He
Then
didn't
I had
realize.
to start Snapchatting him, and he just, claps his hands like he's just been waiting there to do this. And I don't know what Steve-O and Bekah were talking about, but they just so happened to fit in the words. Life finds a way.
Yeah, the guy said that.
Yeah,
No.
he said,
Oh, the
The
guy
guy
said
on
that?
TV said that. Yeah.
Well, I got you guys in the Snapchat going, life finds a way.
So
It's my
there's
greatest
this,
Snapchat accomplishment.
there's this animation that's been going around, and I thought it was kind of neat. And I don't know if it means that we can like trust the predictions more or not, but this shows the entire the cone of uncertainty as it progressed, starting from 11 a.m. on
I just
Saturday.
love the way that sounds.
The cone of uncertainty.
Cone of uncertainty.
Yeah, and it seems like they were pretty uncertain with this one. Look at this.
Yeah, It's a snake.
It's pretty uncertain.
Like centipede.
like
Yeah,
right at
you
the
can see it
beginning,
jogging back and
jogs
forth.
it jogs to the right, like outside of that, like from right here, and then it shifts up. It's like that wasn't within the cone of uncertainty.
It's like it hit a prayer wall or something.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, right before the Dominican Republic.
That must be why that congressman lady said that you can will it away. That's what happened. She was
Nuh-uh.
there
Did she
willing
really?
that away.
No
Really?
way.
Basically, she's saying God loves the Americans more than anybody on those islands.
Right.
Is that?
Well, there's just more of us
Yeah, we got more prayer power because. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it makes sense.
because we're a Christian nation.
Yeah.
What else, guys? Because we're eventually going to move on from the hurricane. What else? What other good stories? We got to meet our
Man.
neighbors.
Yeah, we got to meet our neighbor. He
Yeah,
probably
actually,
thinks
That
we're
must have sucked.
when I was
Yeah, that's never good.
when I was still on the fence about leaving or staying, I was coming back to the apartment from taking those time lapse videos, and saw a couple people standing outside the front building, and just pulled up and was like, "Yeah, so what's up? How are y'all feeling? Or y'all staying and stuff?" And it happened to be the maintenance guy for the complex. And he was like, man, I think we'll be fine. He kind of calmed some of my fears and stuff. But then he was like, well, you know what? Here's what we'll do. If I'm gonna leave, I'll come and knock on your door and let you know that I have deemed it unsafe.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
And I was like,
Yeah.
all right, I can live with that. And then I also talked to the guy that lives downstairs diagonal from us, and he said that he was going to stay, and I said, okay, how about this? We'll make a deal. It's like, if it gets really bad, if there's flooding and you need to escape the water, you come upstairs, knock on the door. If our roof gets ripped off, we're going to come downstairs and knock on your door. Deal.
Yeah.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah, it's a good deal.
Now, if both things happen, I don't know.
We got bad times.
Yeah, that would have been rough.
Go
What
knock
if
on
this-
somebody else's door. Go
what if
knock on
this thing-
Keagle's.
Once it gets up to the tippy top of the United States, the Atlantic, swoops back around and doubles back and hits right straight back for Florida.
I thought about that this morning.
I'm not sure that's
I
possible.
don't think it works that way. I don't think
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it'd probably just go back to the Bahamas and hang out there.
It really liked being in the Bahamas.
Yeah.
It's just got a lounge chair and some sunglasses.
Yeah, I had started to think, because I heard that the Orlando airport had shut down.
Yep.
And then I was just thinking, I'm not going to, that's not going to happen this trip coming up Friday and
Oh,
Saturday. And I was like I was working out my alternate plans. Okay, I'll stay in Atlanta for a day and I'll go to the dojo there, and then I'll go up to Helen, Georgia and eat some schnitzel or something. And then, I don't know, just go back home.
Yeah.
So I had to rework my plans back and forth. And I got to get back in the headspace. Okay, I'm driving all the way to Cocoa Beach. And
Yeah.
me and Brad are going to have to work out get around some crazy Atlanta traffic, and
Yeah, we're gonna have to figure that fun out.
It won't be bad. Although there is a Braves game, which I guess the venue we're going to see Baby Metal at, they share a parking garage with the stadium, and there is a Braves game at the same time. And yeah, hey, you'll just have to ride along. I'll have to actually deal with all that shit.
I guess so. I'll just be the look around guy.
Yeah, you'll have the window down. You can just yell at people.
The look around guy.
Great.
Because Atlanta, I think I said on the podcast, Atlanta literally has the worst traffic in the world. It's in like the top 3, and it is really bad.
It's real
It's
bad.
Rochelle,
unbelievably bad.
When we
I
go
remember
to Florida,
driving through
Rochelle
Atlanta at
always-
4 a.m. and it was still like a lot of people on the highway.
Mhm. Atlanta's scary.
Yeah.
In
God,
Atlanta, the
Atlanta.
party doesn't stop till 6 in the morning, according to Ludacris.
So, yeah.
A trusted source.
Made a whole song about it. Atlanta. Welcome to Atlanta.
So
Never
one of
heard of
the
it.
things I learned is that during a hurricane, Disney resorts offer special rates for Florida residents, and you can
Isn't that
stay
nice?
at a Disney resort. You can't go in the park because the park was closed, but you can stay at the resort, and apparently they provide buffet and all that kind of stuff. and it's $113 a night.
Is that all?
That's not
Very reasonable.
It's reasonable if you have that kind of money to spend for a hurricane party, but
Which I basically did anyway. I'm, buying the stuff to board up my house and all
board
the.
up your house.
I mean, you'd
Salt
still have to
bags.
board up your
Salt
house anyway.
Salt up my house.
Salt
it was
it
just a
up.
figure of speech.
Yeah.
I used bags of salt to
Yeah,
prevent water from going into my home.
Yeah,
She's got
sandbags could not be found.
240 pounds of water softener.
So you stacked bags outside your door?
Yeah, but I wasn't just an idiot about it. I could tell that the plastic bags having the rock salt in it was putting holes in the bags, and I knew that the rain would get in there and dissolve the salt. So we taped the edges of the bags so they weren't sharp and put all the bags inside their own trash bags, and then put a tarp down in front of my door, and then started layering the bags, and then pulled the tarp over them. And they all worked. They're all still salt today.
Yeah, Jerry said when he said $113, he said that's a lot of ravioli.
Mhm.
Yeah.
It is, yeah.
We bought a lot of ravioli. We struggled.
How many Bahamanians could you feed with that much ravioli?
Ooh.
At least 3 a can.
Yeah,
We'll
probably.
maybe we'll send it to him once hurricane season's over, because we still might get some use out of this shit.
You gonna use that salt for seasoning for your cooking?
I was
You
wondering
can
if
make
you
ice
could.
cream with it.
Is it just salt?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's just
There's nothing else.
the salt.
Oh yeah, we couldn't find
Did
the
it-
ingredients on it because it's not for consumption, so it
Yeah,
didn't
but
have.
I do have an ice cream maker, so I guess
Yeah,
I
rock salt.
could get used. I could just start selling ice cream out of my house.
This is how we do it in Tennessee. Do y'all know how to?
I don't know.
Make some ice-
I'm not sure. I want to consume something that's labeled water softener.
You won't
Yeah.
be consuming it. It
No.
doesn't touch the ice cream.
No, it doesn't.
Just
It
around
sits on
it.
the outside of the metal tin that
Oh,
it circles
right,
around.
All right.
You're kind of sciencey usually.
Look, I made ice cream one time, and it was like 20 years ago.
I'm just laughing at the timing of the music.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, right.
25.
Jerry seemed to think that the hurricane hung out at the Bahamas because it got lazy from all the ganja and booze.
Would have to transport all the cocaine up to the shores of Florida.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
story that's been going around. People are finding bricks of cocaine.
And what's funny is it happens every hurricane, and everybody magically forgets to run to the beach after the hurricane.
Just don't mention anything when you get it.
That's
Don't
why
post
they
it to
closed
social
the beaches.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's why they closed the beach.
Yeah, we
I
were
told-
on our way back from the beach last night, and we only had 2 run-ins with police, and they weren't really run-ins. We just talked to them. But last night we were getting back, and we were just about to step into our parking lot, and this cop car come by, and so I just walked over to him. I knew he was going to stop us and talk. And he's like, "Where are you coming from?" I said, "The beach." "Beach is closed."
It's like, well, I was just there. Seemed open to me.
Yeah.
Here in the United States of fucking America.
Yeah. I said, "Well, I live here. You want to see my ID?" And he kind of like looked at me for a second. He's like, "Nah, just go home and stay there."
He
My
was
job.
checking your gangster.
Right, it's my job to ask you for the ID, sir.
But
I'll
the
ask the questions here.
Yeah.
night before, we had just got back into the parking lot, and there was he just happened to be driving through the parking lot, right? And
Mhm.
yeah, and so he stopped us. It was just asking what we were doing, and we just shot the shit with him for a while. He seemed like he was bored, you know,
Yeah.
and he was so unofficial. Like he was cussing and stuff, you know.
Yeah, he was.
Why don't you
cool.
tell him next time you get this opportunity, it's the same guy. Tell him you're scouting out good looting spots.
Yeah. They were
Neighbors
coming
to
through.
gun, you know?
We did see one cop car come through, and they were shining their spotlight between the buildings and stuff. And we were up on the top, down at the end. And I figured he would see us, and then he would ask us what we're doing. And so I just started, kind of walking down the stairs towards him, and then he just sped off.
Just kept driving.
I guess he
It's that guy again. I got to get out of here. I can't smoke here.
He keeps wanting to talk to me. I don't know why.
I ever tell you guys, my dad grew up in West Palm Beach area,
Mhm.
and they would go out to the beach at certain places before sunrise, and they would occasionally find huge bales of marijuana.
Really?
Yeah, because Coast Guard comes up on boats, and they would dump it over the side. And he said this happened more than once, where they would find these big bales of this.
Wow.
Yeah,
big?
and they would get it and they would take it to wherever and they would lay it out in the sun to dry it out.
Yeah.
It was like, it was good. It was
Still had
just,
the salt in it,
salty
but I
and
guess-
fishy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tastes like the ocean. What
Yeah.
It's really seaweed.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad that Jerry's here because I think he'll really like this story I found. This is why is my page reloading? So this is in Australia.
Oh, it's got to be crazy.
Oh yeah.
You said Brad's magic word.
Australia.
So this woman, Celia Cardin, made headlines this week for her legal beef. I love that editorial joking in which she claimed the odors from her neighbors' barbecues had destroyed her quality of life. So this woman, of course, is a vegan.
Of course.
And she, I guess, sometime, this is a terrible article. It's not the original one I found, but last year she sued her neighbors because they would grill fish outside all the time. And the smell would waft into her backyard and it destroyed her ability to spend time in her backyard.
Yeah. To pursue happiness.
So I guess the court threw her lawsuit out and she is now appealing it. The funny part though is that this caught on in Facebook in Perth, and now we have a community barbecue for Celia Garden, and 3,000 people have signed up to now go out and have a community barbecue right outside of her house.
Oh my God!
It explicitly says, "Here it is. Don't let Celia destroy a good old Aussie tradition. Join us for a community barbecue and help Celia Garden get some pork on her fork." It's scheduled for October 19th and explicitly says vegans are not welcome. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that goes.
I mean, you can get a block party permit in America if you jump through the right hoops.
Yeah, I guess that's what is going to happen there. I saw another story tied to it where there was some kind of meat game oriented restaurant where these vegans had been protesting outside the front door repeatedly, and I guess the owner was so pissed off he took a whole deer and brought it to his window and then butchered it at the window.
Wow.
Oh, was that in Canada?
I don't remember. Maybe I just briefly read that. I don't remember the details, but I guess they flipped out and called the police, and the cops got there and like, this isn't illegal. He can cut up he can cut up meat in his window if he wants to.
Yeah.
Well, Jerry says
that guy was.
There's some people in the States that are doing the same thing, if he remembers correctly.
Suing about the barbecue smell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Fact check.
Yeah, that story you're talking about, Nathan, the dude was on Joe Rogan's podcast. He's like a amazing chef in Canada, and that's what he did whenever they would protest with him.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that plan.
So where's this barbecue taking place?
It's in Perth,
It's in
Australia.
Perth. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
October 9th, though. It's time you can save and get a ticket.
19th.
Yeah,
My wife's always wanted to go to Australia. So let's tell her we'll go down there for a barbecue.
It's a good reason to go.
It's winter.
Yeah, let's do that for your birthday.
I guess it's actually just getting to be springtime down there.
Yeah, that's good barbecue time.
That'd be nice, yeah.
Yeah.
Wonder what they're gonna barbecue.
Everything.
No rules, just right.
Don't Australians? Don't they only barbecue shrimp?
That's what I was hoping for. I was hoping someone was gonna catch on.
Bekah, say it to us in
Nope.
your Australia. Yeah, go ahead.
I don't want to.
No, it'll be a good one.
Well, I can't wait for you to slap me back down
I
after I
won't.
try.
I
All
won't.
right, what am I supposed to say?
Say, throw a shrimp on the Barbie.
Brad, say it for me.
No
Celebrity.
rules, just right.
Shrimp on the Barbie is hard to say. I don't like that phrase. Give me a
Another shrimp on the Barbie.
I'll do Bekah saying that.
Okay.
Throw another shrimp on the Barbie.
All right, now you have a chance to be better
You can
than
do
that.
better than that.
I won't be. In fact, I'll probably be worse somehow. Shrimp on the barbie. I can't do it. It's such
Come
a
on,
bad.
you gotta do it.
I can't. Give me. I'll say no rules, just right.
Sounded a bit British there.
I
That's
can't
good.
do it.
That's
I've been told many times before I'm shit at accents. Why do you keep doing this to me?
Say it like it's a question. No rules, just right.
Oh, Patrick, have you ever seen any Australia listeners on our?
Yeah, we've had a
Snaps.
few that I've seen.
If you're listening on
I've
Australia,
seen a few.
please call our number.
Yeah, just call in and talk.
And say some stuff.
You don't even have to say anything about shrimps or Barbies.
No, if you're listening
nice
in
for them.
Australia, please call in and do your best American accent, because
Yeah.
Australians doing American accents, it's so funny because they all sound like John Wayne.
Oh yeah,
It's very much. They sound like they're in a 1950s Western.
Yeah.
It's really funny. So please do that for me.
Man, I wonder if they even can. Can you
Well,
call?
I mean,
yeah, they should be able to.
Country code.
If it's an internet
Mel
number, it's
Gibson
long
does a
distance.
fine job at it.
What's our country code? Is it 011?
I think it's 001.
We're 01.
01.
It's
You
I think
damn
it's
right
just-
we are.
That's right.
one.
I guess because we invented the phone.
Do you know last time we stayed down with you guys, however, a year and a half ago, my friend from Australia called me when we were there.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I talked to him for like an hour.
And it didn't cost
He
you
just
guys
called me out of the
much
blue.
money?
You buy a phone card,
Uh-huh.
that's like prepaid minutes.
Oh, okay.
That's the cheapest way to do it.
Oh.
Yeah.
So you can't just use your phone to call some other country?
No, you
Well,
can't.
you can.
Yeah, he
You
called.
can. You just got to pay for that plan.
Yeah, if you don't have a plan set up, it's gonna cost you like $7 a minute.
Well, I remember, I know that obviously like cell phone plans have changed, but back in the day, it was both people paid, either paid with minutes or paid per minute.
Mhm.
But
I mean, you can do
it's not that way.
Wi-Fi calling now too with a lot of phones.
Yeah, that's
To
right.
get where it doesn't cost you anything. So
There you go. Do that.
I mean, or you could maybe there was something like Google Hangouts or something. That would work.
We would, if you were to email us at verbalassault2016@gmail.com and let us know that you were interested in being in the Hangout, we would totally make that happen.
Oh yeah.
If you're
We
from
would prefer
Australia.
it if you were wearing a kangaroo suit, though. I'm just saying.
Or if you were an actual kangaroo.
That
Or
would be cool.
you look like Crocodile Dundee. If you got a Crocodile Dundee hat with the teeth on it.
Yeah. And you just have to say, that's not a knife. This
Yeah.
is a knife.
Yes.
Yeah.
Just
Wow,
randomly.
Patrick, you did good.
Oh, thank you.
Dorian just got updated back to a Cat 3.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
Yeah.
Dog. That Cat 3
where's it going to now?
coming out the Carolinas.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
Did I
I
already
thought
get
it would
Georgia?
already be there by now.
Yeah, I don't know. It's almost like as soon as the hurricane passes, you just stop watching the Weather Channel.
Yeah, it's like I'm done with it. I'm past.
Good luck, fuckers.
Good luck.
I mean, when I knew that it was heading towards y'all, I was paying attention to it. And then you're tweeting, it's all good and everything. It's good.
That's more than my mom can say. I did a post, and about we might lose power, and you might not hear from me. Don't worry. And she commented on it at some point, like, has it passed you guys? I haven't had a chance to look at the map, and I'm just staring at this comment, like, your son.
Was it like immediately right after that post?
No, it was later on.
Oh, okay.
But it was. I'm just like, your son is possibly getting hit by a Category 5 hurricane, and you can't be bothered to turn on the news or look at a weather app or something,
She posted a comment on that, but couldn't type like 5 words into a weather app.
Google, where is Dorian or whatever, it would be very, very easy to find the forecast for it, And I'm sure she'd say she just wanted to talk, but you would think You know, like where Bekah's mom was like bugging her, what are you doing? Where are you going? You know, are you evacuating? You need to leave the state and stuff like that. Nothing like that. Which
she don't want to bug you.
I do like. I actually do appreciate not having guilt trips about staying in a dangerous place and stuff like that.
But
it is odd.
You seem a little upset, Steve-O. Do we need to have a little talk about you and your mom and your growing up and issues you may have?
No, I like it.
Do you need some couch time?
I do definitely like that my parents don't bug me.
Yeah,
you know, they got.
But maybe they don't bug you quite enough.
Maybe. Maybe I couldn't tell you what it would be like if they did. So I don't know.
Hey, my mom lives like 100 feet that way, and she never talks to me.
Yeah. No, I like that they leave me alone and they let me do my thing. I've always been the independent of the two children.
Oh wait, I think she's in chat now.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm
You dead
so
yet,
sure.
Steven? You dead yet?
Yeah. Yeah, she called me like 3 days before the hurricane was even supposed to get here. She's like, "Are you dead?" I was like, "Well, it's a nice day out, and I don't think anybody's ever died from sunny weather." She's like, "Oh,
you don't know that."
She's like, "Oh, it's not there yet." I'm like, "Mom, it's like 3 or 4 days away."
Devo, they found 15 bricks of cocaine in Cocoa Beach.
Who's they?
Who's they, and where did they look?
Beachgoers on the beach.
Cocaine Beach.
And how did so?
That's what was reported. I mean,
Yeah, I
that's
was
what
gonna
you know about.
Yeah.
Somebody's having a party right now.
Yeah.
Oh, it's where I guess they're just zooming in on the end of Minutemen.
You know, it could have happened there. It could just be that that's like the spot that everybody recognizes.
I mean, yeah, that counts.
Yeah.
Patrick, what is this story that you sent Steve-O?
Pull it up, Steve-O. It's about a Catholic high school in Nashville.
Oh, I know where we're going out with this.
Yeah.
All right.
I think they're late to the party, but
I'm just gonna start it from the beginning.
all right.
Yeah.
It's a minute video.
Kids may love Harry Potter, but one school is bringing the Hogwarts Express to a halt.
You're a wizard, Harry.
You're a wizard,
According to the Tennessean, students at St. Edward Catholic School in Nashville, Tennessee, will no longer be allowed to check out books from J.K. Rowling's acclaimed series. In an email sent out to parents, a pastor of the school said, "These books present magic as both good and evil, which is not true, but in fact, a clever deception. The curses and spells used in the books are actual curses and spells. Read by a human being, risk conjuring evil spirits into the presence of the person."
How else did they make the movie?
The pastor even said he consulted several exorcists who recommended the school remove the books, according to reports. The Harry Potter series was one of the most requested books to be removed from school libraries at one point. They were considered top challenged books from 2001 to 2003, according to the American Library Association. This is InsideEdition.com.
He's saying Wingardium Leviosa is a literal magical spell.
Yeah, you know how
Yes,
many times
all
I've
the
tried
spells
that
you
shit?
hear in it.
You know how many times I've said those words from that book out loud? I have a wand.
And you flick your wrist and
I
try
have
to...
a magic wand. And I've said the word. It doesn't work. It's not real. They can calm down.
Do you guys remember I read a literal Aleister Crowley spell on the show years ago?
Yeah,
I remember that.
Okay, that's very different than what's in Harry Potter. and look, do you see this? This is an actual...
Oh, you got the Key of Solomon. Cool.
Yeah, this is the official Styx Hexenhammer version of this this book. And it's just... That's what the shit actually looks like. You know, it goes to great detail on how you set up your ritual and what time and what you say, what you do, and it is nothing like...
Tells you how to make a ritual go bag, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I don't know where
you have sex with a goat, and then it works out.
Okay.
You have to have sex with a goat, otherwise the spells don't work.
Well, I don't know where Jerry's going at with this, but he says, "Why is there an American Library Association?"
Oh, he's going all libertarian and shit now.
Oh, okay.
Time for that, Jerry.
So
Don't have time.
So for years, I wouldn't watch Harry Potter. After at a certain point, it was just because it seemed like a kids movie, and I hadn't watched the first ones, and then they were already on like number 6 or 7 or whatever, and so I just continued not watching it. But truth be told, the reason I never watched the first ones, that was the time in my life when I was very close to the Lord, and I too preached against Harry Potter and the witchcraft.
You and my mom both.
Yep. Yeah, I thought it was evil. Yeah.
You
I
know,
wasn't allowed to read them.
they
I mean-
actually. Go ahead, Dave.
I was just gonna say they need to make a movie. You know, they had that Devil and Miss Jones. I'll have to say the Devil and Miss Rowling.
Yeah.
Isn't that a porno?
Probably.
Should be.
I'm sorry. Go ahead, Nathan.
I was gonna say they're not completely without a point as far as it being an influence, because my sister actually did, when we all kind of left Christianity, she actually went down the Wiccan path because of Harry Potter.
Yeah.
Because she loves Harry Potter, and she still does. When she lived with me for a while in my trailer over here, I came home one day and there was a bowl full of rice, and there were crystals in the rice sitting out on the porch in the sun. And I came in and I looked at her. I was like, "What the hell is this?" She's like, "Oh, I'm cleansing the crystals."
Oh my God.
Okay. All right. Fine.
Yeah, my dad, when we first moved to Tennessee, my dad had a girlfriend that moved with us, and after a while, I mean, I guess I had made some ground on her, and she was starting to get into the Bible for like a month maybe, and she was starting to really get interested, and she started to ask me questions, and that was really neat and stuff. But then like one day I came home, and the way we came through, we'd come through the back door, which actually was into my room. So, we'd go from the garage and through my room and then into the hallway and into the living room. And by the time I'd come around that corner, like she had obviously like just stood up from doing something, and there were a bunch of like candles around and stuff. And then like later on, I picked up on the fact that she's been getting into the Wiccan kind of shit. So she went straight from Bible. I guess Bible was too boring. Like it didn't have,
have any candles.
Stuffy.
And it doesn't tell you like how to, like what kind of spells or rituals you could do to make something happen. It just says you have to pray and trust the Lord, and that's not enough.
Now, when was this? Were you still a believer at this time?
Yeah, I would have been, probably.
So
like 99.
Did that freak you the hell out when you saw that?
It was, no, I mean, I felt pretty empowered back then, and it was like, I'm gonna, like I'll combat this with the power of the Lord.
You put on the full armor of God.
Yeah. It wasn't, it didn't scare me, but it did alarm me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so of course, I'd pray. And
Gotta take care of this bitch.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I tried to be tactful and tried to pull her back towards the Bible, but it wasn't happening. And yeah.
What a shame.
Yeah, she was lost.
It's lost.
Just think of that kid.
Right.
That's
I'm
like,
lost now.
I got the power of God and anime on my side. Yeah. You know what I'm talking about.
Oh, I know.
Power of anime is strong.
Over 9,000.
You know what? During the hurricane, that was the weirdest power outage I'd ever seen. Like Steve-O said, we lost power, and then the neighbors lost power later. But we started losing power, and the lights started flickering. Where normally it's just like power's out, boom, that's it. And I guess we were just getting surge after surge because we've got battery backups on a couple things in the apartment. And they started beeping, but every time we get a surge, you'd hear it like it goes beep, 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 standard beeping, and then it goes beep, 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 like it's getting.
What is beeping?
The power supply backups. When
like
the power goes out, like for computers and stuff, so they don't just turn off.
Yeah, like they
The
have it
Holy
work.
Ghost trying to get
Everything's
into
plugged into this
Yeah.
big battery bank so that you have a little bit of time to shut the computer down safely instead of it just dying.
Mm.
But usually when people talk about the power flickering, you're usually talking about the lights came on, the lights went off, went on and then off, and you're not sure if you're actually going to lose power. But this time it was like a strobe.
Scary movie lights.
Our light in the dining room was like a strobe light almost. I mean,
one of your neighbors was doing some incantations and shit, so it was just in your one area that was causing the power surge of the
Some of those
spirits.
real Harry Potter spells.
Reading Harry
Right,
Potter.
man.
It could be.
Yeah.
the real
It-
spells.
It was funny when I put in the my powers out, hoping to just be in the front of the line for when they start to restore power. It said, "Oh, well, we're not sure if your power's out or not. Is the whole neighborhood out of power?" Yes. Okay. One person has said their power's out, and then as soon as I hit send, the lights came on for a second, and then they went back off.
We're like, damn, that's fast.
Yeah.
Trying to game the system.
Well,
Sometimes
we
it
had
works.
power back by 2 a.m., I think.
Yeah.
Like the power came back on and stayed on.
I feel like it was earlier than that even.
I don't.
Well, there would be like a minute or so where we had power for 5 minutes and then went back off for a while.
Yeah, we started celebrating and then the power went out. What I don't understand is how the power can go out and be out for a while and then just come back on for a few seconds or a minute or 5 minutes and then go back out again. Like it seems like when the power goes out, isn't that like a transformer blew up or there's a power line down or something that that's not going to fix itself. These aren't self-mending systems. I mean, I guess I know there's computers involved that reroute power and stuff, but it just seems really odd that over the course of like 4 hours, the power would come back on, sometimes for just seconds and sometimes, for a minute or so.
Well, I think a lot of it has to do with when it does get rerouted, and I don't know that I'm accurate here. You still got all those systems that have switches and air conditioners and refrigerators and all these high energy things. So when the power gets rerouted and it starts to come on, it's drawing a bigger load.
It shocks the system or something.
So it goes, oh, okay, there's power here. So all the pieces of equipment that draw a lot more energy.
AC tries to kick on at the same time.
Right. Then they didn't reroute enough there, I guess. But again, I'm no professional.
Yeah.
I trust his opinion on this.
I do think that I have heard before that in those situations, if your power goes out, turn your stuff off so that when it comes back on, you don't become part of the problem.
So yeah, okay. So like at least turn like your AC off, maybe.
Turn your AC off. There's not a whole lot you can do about your fridge.
Yeah.
But you leave a light switch on, so power's on.
Yeah,
or
you need that.
The clock is in front of you; it starts blinking right away.
Yeah, or your battery banks start beeping like they're sick.
Yeah, Jerry kind of agrees. Reroutes the key. It's a brownout's what it is. When all those things are sucking the energy all at once.
Gotcha. Well, it is impressive that they got it back on in the middle of the night. I mean, and the hurricane was still going, and they got it back on. And I don't know if it was somebody that actually came out in a truck and got up in the bucket and fixed something, or if they just got the rerouting to work.
Just like
Elon took care of
1920s ladies working the phone board.
Yeah.
That's all.
It's all those like in John Wick, all these women have like tattoos and the glasses and the hair all tied up because it's like a requirement for the job to work the assassin switchboard. Bekah, let's play a game.
You got it, pal.
Play the music, Steve-O.
Oh yeah. Well, you're gonna have to make sure you can hear this buzzer go off because we're playing 5 seconds again.
Oh, that's right. It's the almost 5 seconds.
Almost 5 seconds again. Our new
What do you
game.
mean almost 5 seconds? Is this good game music?
I like it.
Yeah, it's good.
It makes me swing from side to side.
I don't know if it'll promote quick thinking. We'll see. It's a good experiment. Okay. So I think last time Brad went first because I went from left by how I can see all on the screen. So this time we're gonna start with Steve-O.
All right.
Okay.
Oh.
You have 5 seconds to name 3 famous animals from a movie.
Rover, Dover, and Chud.
What the fuck was
Was it
that?
like the names of the animals or what kind of animals?
Yeah, it really caught me off guard going first because I was doing something over here on my computer.
Rover, Dover, and Chud.
Rover, Dover, and Chud.
Chud was a weird animal.
He's my favorite from that
Did
one.
he ever
He was
get
so
out of
funny
one?
though.
Homeward Bound 7.
Rover, Dover,
Chud's
and
Great
Chud.
Escape.
Somehow he made it out of a quarry.
I wanna explain to the viewers, if anybody's actually watching this,
What Chud is.
instead of always listening to that audio. I just pulled up the time lapse that I took from our apartment, looking north, and you could see the churning of the clouds in the different directions that the wind blows throughout the hurricane.
I mean, them trees is moving.
Yeah.
How many pictures were we in?
Actually, there was only like one where like your elbow just barely showed up in the frame.
Nice.
Oh,
So
did you
good
keep
job.
it?
Yeah, I kept it in there.
Cool. Maybe I'll see my elbow.
But
Thousands will see your elbow.
Yeah.
Speaking of thousands, this is 3,000 images taken over the course of 27 hours.
Wow.
To create
Wow.
this. Yeah, and Nathan can't see it, and Patrick
No, I can't
see
see it. I'm imagining
Yeah.
it though.
Yeah.
I saw it in real
If you
life.
just-
though.
I can
Yeah.
imagine Brad's
that-
elbow.
Yeah,
Okay.
just all up in that shot.
Oh,
Here's
yeah.
the
At
sneak
the
preview.
beginning, you see the clouds are coming towards us because, of course, the hurricane's churning to our east, and so the clouds are coming towards us, and so is the wind. And then as time goes on,
Is Brad's
favorite.
elbow gonna glisten here?
Yeah, my
yeah,
favorite
and you
back
see light from
patio.
the inside of the apartment. We had the lanterns and our headlamps on, and so sometimes you'd see some light coming from the inside of the apartment. And then you see the
Oh.
lights come on. Okay,
Oh,
this is when they come on for good. But yeah, that was pretty neat. I'm glad I did that.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Crazy that
Cooler
that's
to-
only a minute and a half.
Yeah,
It's
and
cool to
that's
watch it like
shrunken down. Like if you take 3,000 images and just do it at the normal rate of 24 frames per second, that's still only a 2-minute video. But I wanted to shrink it down just
Yeah.
a little bit. Who wants to sit through 2 minutes? I shrunk it down to 30 seconds first, and that was just way too fast. You really couldn't tell what was going on, and then I went with 90 seconds.
So you went all through the night into the next day.
Mhm.
Is that what?
Yeah, it started
still
at
taking pictures when I got
almost 3 o'clock Monday afternoon, or no, Tuesday, yesterday. And then I left it running all the way through today, and it was actually still shooting whenever I got home at about 5 o'clock.
Crazy.
Yeah, so there you go.
All right, who's ready for more questions? Or more things to come up with, I mean.
I am if it's a good question.
Well, Patrick's next in line.
Okay.
Okay.
That question was not important.
Who's ready? I am. Patrick, you're next.
Just like a teacher in school.
Right.
Yes,
Wait,
exactly.
wait. That's a hell of a schoolyard pick.
Nathan
I did want to be a
puts his hand up nicely, and she's like,
I'm the kid answering questions. Even when I went
You'll
back
get
to
your
college.
turn, Nathan.
Even when I went back to college, I'm in the back. I got my hand all the way up here. I know the answer to that.
Wait your turn, smarty pants. All right, Patrick, you got 5
Yeah.
seconds to name 3 numbers that add up to 100.
10, 90, 80.
At 0.
Yep.
You closed the gap so early.
I know.
All right. Well, you don't win.
It was a good effort. I see what he was I saw what he
Yeah.
was trying to do.
Yeah, thank you.
All right. Are you now, Nathan?
Yeah.
Okay. You have 5 seconds to name 3 things that spin.
Tops, the planet, and merry-go-rounds.
Very good.
You
Yes!
did it.
Yeah.
I
Yes!
mean, the planet one is debatable, but
Oh, come on, Steve-O. Don't do that.
Don't you
that
do
right
this
now.
to me, Steve-O.
I mean, there's a large group of people that would say otherwise.
Because we would fly off.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Yes.
if it was spinning, we'd go flying.
That's a good point.
We wouldn't have water.
Yeah.
Nothing.
If
Yeah.
you jumped up in the air, you would
You
just
keep going.
fly into space.
Okay. All right, now it's Dave's turn. I want to switch the music. I want a more upbeat one for Dave.
Is there a dubstep Weather Channel
How
music?
about, oh, here's one. Here's one. How about String Bean?
That sounds
String
perfect.
bean.
Crosstown String Beano.
That's still going to be slow and jazzy. It's called String Bean.
What about Here We Go or Oh Yeah? Those sound like jazzy songs.
Yeah, that might...
Here's Oh Yeah.
Yeah.
There we go. This is Oh Yeah.
Now we're jamming.
Okay.
Brian Hughes, man, he's the man when it comes to.
He's
He
killing it,
is.
Yeah.
Oh no, I started
That's-
one. I have to.
oh.
We have to wait one more second. Okay. All right, Dave. Oh, this one's gonna be fun. Name 3 member states of the European Union.
Britain, still, France, and Spain.
Britain still.
Still,
I don't know. Does he get that one?
technically.
Yeah, he gets that.
Yeah, I think if he gets it out before the ding stops, I think.
Britain is
like
still
basketball
part of the
rules.
EU.
If
Yes.
it's already out of your hand,
It shouldn't be, but it is.
you can still score a point. So if the word's already coming out of your mouth, you can still score a point.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
All right,
If the
Brad.
ball is still in the air, when the buzzer goes off, the ball is still in play.
Yeah.
We all know that from Space Jam. All right. Brad. You have 5 seconds to name 3 famous Kevins.
Kevin Spacey, Kevin Nealon, Kevin Doyle. What was the kid's name?
McAllister.
Kevin
McAllister.
McAllister.
How did y'all both know who he was trying to say when he said Kevin Doyle?
Because that was my first choice.
Yeah, that was the first
I
thing that
think
came to mind.
Doyle was his brother.
No, that's. Are you talking about the brother in Home Alone? That's Buzz.
Oh,
Yeah, it calls him Trout Sniffer.
Could have done Kevin Smith.
Kevin
Yeah.
Sorbo.
you
duh.
could have done 97, 1 and 2.
Could have. But I chose not to.
Well, that was great. Do you want to do more?
Yeah, do
Sure.
more.
Yeah,
Okay,
do
back
more.
around to Steve. Are you ready this time?
I guess so.
Okay.
Jerry says bacon? Question mark.
Kevin Bacon.
Yeah, Kevin
Ooh,
Bacon.
That's a good one. Yeah.
This is you're just gonna have to do your best with this one because I don't understand the wording.
I will always do my best.
You have 5 seconds to name 3 Olympic disciplines.
Javelin, hammer throw, and rock and roll.
What the fuck? Out of all the choices, there's so many.
Who won the rock and roll medal?
I got the rock and roll.
Ted
medal.
Nugent took it this year. He took the gold.
It takes
Yeah,
it every
He's
year.
always taking it.
I mean, everybody was upset with it, but Ted still took it.
Yeah, he still took it.
Although, especially the communists, the Chinese hated it.
The NRA loved it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, did you
Alright.
see San Francisco? I think it was. I can't remember if it was California or just San Francisco. But San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
San Francisco.
Is that your Australian accent?
No, it's mine.
Oh.
This is my Bekah's Australian accent. They just labeled the NRA a terrorist group.
No
who did?
way.
What?
Yeah.
Who did? Who's
It
that?
was either California or San Francisco. I don't-
Jerry
right.
confirmed San Francisco only.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Jerry.
So what? If you have an NRA sticker on your pickup truck in
Yeah.
San Francisco, what?
Hate crime.
Yes, you get. I guess you get thrown in a gulag. I don't know. Think about my poor papaw wearing his NRA hat. God rest his soul. If he was still with us, being called a fucking terrorist in the United States.
They might put him on probation and prevent him from having a barbecue.
And the funny thing about that is that the NRA is actually pretty milquetoast when it comes to their stance on gun laws, and it's not like
milquetoast.
Yeah, you're gonna need to elaborate that term. I've never heard that term. Yeah, I've never heard that.
It's pretty common.
Milquetoast.
I've heard of milk steak.
I feel like
Dave
Patrick
knows.
Patrick's
Dave
right
knows
there
what I'm
with
saying.
Whoa. Kitty.
Whoa.
Milquetoast just means mild. It just means weak, limp.
It means like dipping fucking toast in milk. Like that's
It's
just
flaccid.
related to that.
Flaccid. Yeah.
Oh, that would
Bland.
be very flaccid.
Bland.
I think no matter what you dip toast in, it would become.
And I bet Jerry is agreeing with me in chat right now.
Yeah,
See?
he spelled milk toast correctly.
And I bet he agrees with me.
Oh, okay. So it's not spelled. It's not
It's like MILQUE.
Yeah,
That's correct.
true.
That's what he
Wow.
put in.
Yeah.
Huh. I was thinking
Good job,
actual
Jerry.
milk.
Isn't it? What does it mean if it doesn't mean milk and toast? What does milk with a Q mean?
Maybe it's just a fancy way of spelling it. I don't know.
It's the French.
I just know
French
what it
milk. French milk.
All right, Patrick, it's your turn. You have 5
Yeah.
seconds to name 3 different ways
Okay.
to spell milk. Go.
Oh. MYLK. MILK. MLK.
You suck.
Yep, that was
That
it.
was good. I was
Perfect.
hoping he'd throw MIAK. As a,
Miak.
as a- yeah.
Authentic
Miak.
Bulgarian
Yeah.
Miak. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, that
Milk that
wasn't
comes
real. I
from a
made that
yak.
one up.
Okay. Then give me the real one.
Okay. I mean, it was basically a real turn, but I'll give you
I
another
mean, you
one.
still got a point. Or you would have.
Oh, I mean, if I got a point.
Does he get a point for that? Judges?
Does he get a real
Yes.
point for a fake question? Does he
Yeah,
get a fake
yeah, you
yeah.
get a point. You get a point.
Okay.
I say
Cool.
a point for comedic timing.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Nathan, you have 5 seconds to name 3 internet shops.
Amazon, Shopify, Walmart. Yeah.
There you go.
Oh.
Okay, good-
With
good
time
work.
to spare.
AdamandEve.com.
I was
Bonus
hoping for
point.
that one.
Yeah, why don't they
Yeah.
sponsor us? They're like the original sponsor of podcasts. Like that was Adam Carolla's only sponsor for
Yeah.
so long.
Or Fleshlight.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Fleshlight
That was
too. Yeah.
Joe Rogan's
Yeah.
first one from way, way back.
Yep.
Yeah. Until he got too big for the Fleshlight.
Yeah, he got too big for the flashlight. He's like, yeah, they were cool, but
Sounds like a real
gotta
problem.
move on.
All right, Dave, you have
Okay.
5 seconds to name 3 things you can climb.
Walls, ladders, stairs.
Okay, that was
Dave,
very,
you-
very fast.
You really missed a chance to say big, beautiful women.
Yeah.
We are on
really
the same
missed it.
wavelength with
Yeah.
these answers. I always
B-
think about
BBWs.
that episode of that 70s show when Fez walks up to Donna and says, I want to climb you.
Man,
Okay.
speaking of BB Dubs, man, they have not been here this year.
Yeah.
Convention?
They
Has it been a dry season?
The last 2 years, no, like the last 2 years, they had 2 separate, like in the spring and in the summer, they had a BBW like convention at the hotel that's like a block and a half away from our
Really?
store, and we would deliver them. Like it was like delivering.
I
to a
remember you
school.
telling this story.
I'm sure it was just around the clock.
It was like you remember how it was doing the school deliveries, right? Where we would feed the school, right? And you would take like 30 pizzas, and then an hour later you'd take 30 more, and then whatever. That's what we would do throughout the day whenever they were in town. And yeah, I ain't seen hide and a hair of them this year.
Maybe they went keto.
I heard tale that they went to Fort Lauderdale this year.
I see what you did there.
Yeah, I like that one.
Lot-
Patrick. That was good.
Why don't I just picture
What?
you sticking your head out at work, just like peeking around the corner, seeing if you see any big, beautiful women walking around?
Yeah,
Get here for the convention?
It's not big black women, Jerry. It's big beautiful
Big,
women.
beautiful women
Jerry.
I mean that, you know,
of all colors.
that'd be
The triple BW.
And
Except
You're thinking.
except for little people.
And the
That
men
doesn't count.
that go to these things are not big beautiful men. They're like average size men that just like big beautiful women.
skinny dude. Yeah, it's always really skinny dudes with the big beautiful women.
Picture
I think
a
Jerry
guy
was-
named Nick.
Yeah. I think Jerry was confused with BBC. See, that's a different thing, Jerry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know these acronyms get all jumbled up,
Yeah.
but you know, maybe you'll get the BBC convention instead. That would be fun.
So who won?
Well, we still have one more to go. If you're done talking about BBCs.
I don't know.
Right.
It's the most excitement we've had in this podcast.
I mean, there's also what is it? CFNM. There's that acronym.
CFNM.
I don't know what that is.
It's a lot of
That's,
male.
Wait a minute. CFNM.
Yeah, try to guess, and I'll let you know. if you're right.
CFMN.
CF. N as in Nancy.
N. Okay.
M as in Mary.
Okay.
Cock-friendly
New mothers.
new mothers.
It's not going to be as great as you hope it is, unless you're into that.
Cute, funny Norman Mailer.
Oh,
That's the convention. You nailed it.
yeah, that's it. Bekah was kind of close to it. It stands for clothed female nude male.
What?
That's a category.
How was I
for
close
porn.
at all?
Well, you were the only one that mentioned like a female type, which was
Oh.
mother.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay, yeah.
Clothed
mother.
female nude. What is that? How does that
It's
work,
like,
Patrick?
So the women keep their clothes on, but the men are naked.
Right, but this is like,
Yeah.
is this porn? Is this a fetish? What is this?
It's a porn fetish.
type of porn
Yeah.
fetish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man, that's
Clothes.
So does a
Who's
dude like
watching it?
dry? Does he like dry humper? Or is it like
No, they open up stuff to get to where he needs to go.
Oh, okay.
But
so
who's
it's just
watching
the
it?
women
That's
are
what
still
I wanna-
wearing their clothes.
Who's,
This is
Yeah.
culturally enlightening.
What's the demographic for this?
People that just hate
Horny
men's
dudes.
bodies.
No, because it's the men that's naked.
Yeah, it's the men that are being like
Oh.
kind of abused in this scenario. That's what
Oh.
it is. The women are
Oh.
taking advantage of the men.
oh, it's that kind of thing. Okay,
Yeah, yeah,
It's reverse Weinstein porn.
like a dominance kind of dominating thing.
kind of. Yeah,
No,
Yeah.
I do get the whole not showing everything thing. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
leave something to the imagination.
Yeah,
sort of thing.
I get that. I like that. That's good. Because you're always guessing. You know, it leaves you guessing.
yeah.
I wonder if
Yeah.
there's a nipple under there.
There could, yeah.
There
I
might
don't
be.
know. There might be a penis. I don't know.
Hopefully not in the same place.
Got your dick nips
Penis tits, dick tits.
What up, dick tits?
Dick tits.
That's why.
Wow.
That's why Madonna had those cones for bras. She had dick tits.
Oh yeah.
She was lucky
Oh.
people thought it was a
So-
fashion statement.
You guys, I told you guys about Count Dankula. He's the guy that did the Nazi pug video.
Oh right, yeah.
Mhm.
So he's very much an internet edgelord. He's a meme lord. He's definitely into his the spicier, the edgier, the better. So he interviewed Alex Jones this week, and you gotta watch this interview. But I'm gonna spoil some of it because I don't know if any of you knew. There was one point Alex Jones was on a live stream and he had a tablet sitting on a table and it had tranny porn on it. And so, this was a little while ago. And so Count Dankula asked Alex Jones near the end of this interview, he was like, so you know what traps are, right? You know, it's this big thing online. Are traps gay or traps not gay? First, you know, he asked him if traps are gay. And then he asked him if he would indeed fuck a trap. For those that don't know, a trap
Yeah,
is basically a dude that looks like a chick, a very feminine dude, is the whole thing.
That doesn't tell you that.
Right, but it's not.
Just don't say anything until the very end. When
and it's not even necessarily trans. It's just very much looks like a woman.
Oh.
Perhaps
wig, makeup, everything.
And it was so funny because Alex Jones was like, "No, wait, are you into traps?" And Count Dagu's like, "Hell yeah, man." He was like, "Yeah. I mean, women treat your dick like it's a chore. Traps worship your dick."
He actually said that to Alex Jones.
He said that to Alex Jones.
That's
It was amazing. It was. Go watch that later.
Yeah, I do want to watch that. I mean, I like anything Alex Jones. If I don't like watching Alex Jones's show, but I like watching him on other people's shows.
Yeah, he's more serious on his own show. He's less when he gets on other people's stuff. He amps up his craziness when he's on other stuff. Like when he was on. When he was on Joe Rogan, he was at 1,000, right? When he's on his own show, it's more like a news show. I mean, it has a conspiratorial bend to it, but it's still more like a straight news show unless he gets on a rant. Yeah, that was fun.
Killing babies.
Killing babies.
What? Is that his thing?
Killing babies.
Somebody's killing babies, right?
Yeah, they kill them and they put them in the cosmetics and Pepsi.
Yeah,
where Pepsi
they sell the organs
comes from fetuses. You know that?
Didn't Alex Jones lose that Sandy Hook lawsuit?
I don't know. I think he might have settled it.
Yeah, I think he settled out of court.
That dude's been sued many, many times. Bekah, let's do one more round.
Well, we still haven't got Brad. Okay.
Let's keep this round and then do one more round.
Okay, Brad.
Okay.
You have 5 seconds. Oh, this one. Wow. I'm gonna skip it because it's very personal. Like I don't want to do it. I don't want to.
Name 3 school shootings.
Why are you skipping?
Okay. All right, Brad. You have 5 seconds to name 3 things you buy in parts.
Car parts, straws, and Legos.
Straws. You put your straws together before you use them.
Well, you buy the bottom
how
part,
else are you gonna
make
the real long thing to blow the ball off the thing?
Oh, so you buy a wrapper and a straw? Those are considered parts, I guess.
I mean, they're parts that come with it. Some assembly required.
I'll allow it.
No, that is not.
You get the bendy pack straws and you make them all bendy.
It's still just one piece.
When you're done, if you do it right, yeah.
The only one he had on that was
Lego. If you got a little bit of creativity, then those straws are parts.
You buy car parts.
Yeah, what's wrong with car parts?
Well, I don't think that's specific enough. If
you say a thing you buy in parts implies it's something you put together yourself. I guess if you said model car, I go okay. But no, you buy a car. You think of it as one unit. You don't go, I just bought a bunch of car parts. They're together and functioning as a car, but
no assembly required.
Yeah.
All right. So for the last round of this, I'm going to change the game. This is a game that me and Brad came up with.
Oh shit!
Last week, and it's very hard. Okay.
It's called Dick Tits.
The problem is once we tell them, they'll be thinking of it.
Right, but still, it's still hard, even if you're thinking. You tell me I'm wrong. It was still hard, even when we knew it was coming.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. So, the game is, you have 10 seconds to name 5 song titles. Okay, Steve-O, you have 10 seconds. Ready?
Ready.
Go.
Back in Black, Hell's Bells, Highway to Hell,
That's halfway.
Oh, that's halfway. Walk This Way and Love in an Elevator. No, you said I was only halfway.
But for a long time, like that lasted a while there.
No,
I don't have a 10-second timer. You know what? I do have.
You got a phone.
Timer. I do.
Yeah,
have that.
you do have a phone.
I think I got it.
Okay, well, we'll give it to you.
Good.
Okay, Patrick, I can't find my timer. What is that thing called? The clock.
On your clock, yeah.
Okay, Patrick, you have 10 seconds to name 5 songs. Go.
Love You Like I Do, Bangarang, Sophie Needs a Ladder, Beloved, and Burn.
Oh, you came in really close there.
Why didn't you name the song playing? It's called Oh Yeah.
Okay,
Oh, here's a
Nathan,
song
go.
by Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
Wait, go.
Go.
Bela Fleck and the Flecktones.
Nathan,
really?
go.
Mark Songs and Acid Part 1. I Talked to the Wind. Moonchild. Mark Songs and Acid Part 2. Talking Drum.
You're done. You lose. Dave,
I didn't
go.
know. That's bullshit.
Dark Side of the Moon. I don't know.
You're done. Wow, you got the 1. Okay.
That
All right,
counts as
Brad, go. Brad, go.
Parable, parabola, lateralis, rock you like a hurricane, pour some sugar on me.
Okay. You were the most prepared for this.
I mean,
Yeah,
I was there when we made the game.
Okay, I urge everybody listening to try that yourself. Like, just give yourself a 10-second timer and don't think about it before you do it. Just try to come up with 5 song names in 10 seconds. It's so
Or
hard
Why
to
is
do.
it just
Quiz
song
somebody
names?
else to do it.
I don't know. It was just what we came up with.
It's 5 song names because there are so many fucking songs, and just to pick 5 out.
Yeah, it's hard. Unless that's the trick, though. The trick is you focus. Like, you just think of an artist.
Yeah.
You focus on that, and then you can do it. But your mind's just automatically like trying to pull songs out of the air, but there's so many to choose from. It's like an overload. So I urge everybody to try it. It's a fun brain exercise.
It's not like grabbing Pop-Tarts off the wall at the grocery store.
Not like that.
No. You think it is, but it's
Oh.
really not. It ain't.
Seems a little complicated.
Really,
It's
we
like,
could have just
it's
named off
almost
the
like
Weather Channel
kayaking.
songs.
Almost like kayaking.
Pretty much the same thing.
Here, Bekah, time me again.
Okay, let me pull up my clock again. Ready, go.
Adoration along the way, ancient dreams, angel, Atlantica, breath of life, carried by the winds, chasing the sun, Clearwater, daydreamer.
Oh, this is
dream-
the Weather
Man,
Channel.
he's
Yeah,
just reading
clearly
off
the
the
Weather
list.
Channel songs.
You got so many.
How did he do it?
You just read it off the
I
other
don't
screen.
know. How did he do it?
All right, well, that was it. That was the whole thing.
Well, thank
Jerry
you,
called
Bekah.
out. Jerry.
That first game was really good.
told you I was going to.
And then you had that fly-by-night game again.
And that other one that would
Not as
just
good.
say it would say something. Another one of the say something games.
What?
You're talking to me.
What
yeah,
did
I'm
we
trying
say
to
something?
fuck with you. You're not even reacting.
Say it again. What'd you say?
You're supposed to get mad or something.
Okay, I'm ready. I'm ready to be mad. What did you say?
I'm ready to be mad.
I said, Bekah, it's that time of the show again for a poem.
You didn't say that.
You'll have to
Never
listen
makes
if
Pretty
you
much
want
the
to
same
know.
thing.
Okay. This poem is called Asking Interesting Questions. I have a feeling, but is it a reasonable decision to trust the predictions? Plans have changed. We started losing power, a reasonable reason to go out for us, but we're on our way back. Tied to some ritual, spinning through seasons until we hit a wall. It just happened to be a trusted source that brought us here. I can live with that. Can you?
Thank you, Bekah. Thank you, everyone, for a great podcast. Thank you, Haywood Banks, for our theme song.
Thanks, Haywood.
Yeah.
Thank
Give us
you,
a follow
Haywood.
on Twitter.com/_verbal assault_. And
Haywood Banks did it.
don't forget, you audio listeners, check us out on Mixer.com/verbal assault podcast.
What's the
Support
phone
us on
number?
Patreon
And the Patreon.
at patreon.com/verbal assault so we can keep our power on, just like Steve-O did.
Yeah.
Mm.
And if Jerry ever wants to finalize this sponsorship deal, then this is the part of the show where we'll mention his shit.
Or we might mention it first.
Or
Who
yeah,
knows?
that's probably a better way to do it.
Or you could just put on your best Australian accent and call 865-316-6955.
And we'll laugh at you.
We'll laugh at you or give you another shrimp on the Barbie.
Yeah, maybe you'll laugh at us. One or the other.
Nathan, say shrimp on the Barbie with an Australian accent.
Shrimp on that, Bobby.
Deuces.